Hi everyone, so this will be my review on the Sunee Budget Planner. This is the brand. I got it on Amazon. I will put a screenshot of how much it currently is right here. And I started this big one in 2025, specifically in the month of March, all the way through to December. I just didn't write it in here, but I did start using this in December. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not paid. I bought this with my own money. I was going through a major transition in life in February. I went from living with someone to living on my own and having to figure out all that finances really quickly and how I'm going to handle all that really quickly in February. And it was kind of hit the ground running, figure it out, which I have done before, but going from sharing your life expectancy, life expenses with somebody to doing it all over by yourself, and the fact that inflation in just like the time span between me living alone and me living with somebody else, it has increased. So I just need to be a bit more intentional. So I bought this planner just to see if it would work, because I have tried um, bullet journaling style budget planning where I make the spreads. I've tried printouts. I've tried Excel sheets, and I've bought some. I've built some. I have tried the free options, and none of it really worked for me because none of them to me were either too much work or not enough work. So bullet journaling as a budget planner did not work for me because it was too time intensive. I had to make the spreads and do all the things, and I didn't know what I was missing. And then when I would think about it, like, oh, it's too late. I've already like made it. It just wasn't. There wasn't. Was flexible, but it didn't. This is easier for me to understand what I'm missing. If and there's nothing in here for me that's missing. Um, and then for the Excel sheets and the things built by other people that are all on the computer, that didn't work for me because to me, doing my budget planning on a computer felt like tapping my credit card. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel tangible. I didn't feel like it was just automated, and I wasn't as actively involved as where this I every week I am actively partaking in this notebook and taking the time and sitting down, and it felt really tangible. It felt really real. It was me and a calculator and my banking apps. Just it felt really real. However, I will say envelopes don't work for me because this is like a new age where like cash isn't king anymore. So I didn't want to do envelopes, but this to me in my brain kind of works like envelopes. So I'll actually give you a tour of what a empty one looks like, because this one is all filled up. But let me give you a tour of the plain budget planner. This is what I'll be using for 2026. So this is where you put your name, your phone, your email, and then it has financial goals, mind mapping. Every month has a mind map page as well. So if you want to add a different kind of tracker, you can. There's strategies, new skills I need to learn, my money affirmations, actions to earn more money, actions to cut expenses, important dates. I didn't use a lot of these early pages when I started mine in 2025, and I don't really intend to use it, but I could see how some people can. This bill tracker, I hope in my lifetime I don't have bills that fill up this page, and I didn't use this then either, and I don't intend to. I don't need to. But if you do, and it's helpful for you, I know some people like love this tracking stuff. I don't do that for this. Savings tracker, which is really great. I do have multiple savings accounts, so that's really nice. 8 of those. Then there's debt trackers. There's 8. Oh, these. I'm very lucky where I don't actually have any debt. I do have a consumer debt that gets paid off every month, but currently I am debt free. 15, 16. And then you go into the month. So this is a monthly spread, and it's basically if you want to start it on Monday, you can start on Monday. For my budget, I'm pretty sure I do Monday through Sunday. And then, oh, the lighting. You have a little goal section and a note section and the month of whatever. It does come with stickers. I can't remember which ones actually came with me buying the notebook and what I bought. I believe, I want to say like these ones came with it. I want to say like these came with it. And then these are ones that I bought off Amazon, but don't quote me. If I'm wrong, Sunee company, if you're watching this that I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I did know it came with like cutesy little stickers too. I just wanted to add some more like cute ones. But they do send you these numbers so you can put them on every month. I didn't realize that's what this was for when I started this one, so I never did it at all. But I plan to do it for next year. And then you have your monthly overview and budget, and I love the sections here. They are honestly, for me, perfect. They have your income, your savings, your investments, your debt payments, food, healthcare, housing, personal, entertainment, transportation, shopping, and then a blank. Total budgeted, total actual, and the difference. So this was key. For me, this was perfect. I was able to fill out all of these and everything had a place, which was what I needed. And for this blank page, I put my dog stuff because she's an incredible expense in my life. She needs her own section. So there's that. And then honestly, it was perfect for me. It had everything I needed. I did tweak it a little bit, and I'll do a separate video probably in January how I'm setting up my monthly budget so you guys have a better idea. So you'll see me use this for the first time, this one, in January. But I'll show you what my current one looks like in a moment. And then my expense tracker, they give you 2 pages of this. I do my best to never touch this second set of pages. So like for me, if I don't touch the second page, that is amazing. That's amazing. Like I'm doing great already. That doesn't mean I'm not using a lot of money in these second pages, but it just feels better if I'm only using one set rather than both. I think there's only 1 or 2 months where I use both. And then the monthly budget review. So it has total income, total expenses, difference, total savings, and then the different categories, the amount, and then the percentage. This is kind of like if you're doing it on an Excel sheet, the percentage would come up with a little pie chart and be really cute. Yeah, I don't need all that. I don't even fill this out and be honest with you, not all the time because it's kind of redundant from this section. It's kind of redundant from this section, but if I want to and I have the brain capacity to do that, I'll fill this in. But I do try my best to do this. So the biggest win, did I meet my budget? What did I learn this month by tracking my expenses? Things to improve. There's always something to improve. There's always more things to do. And then ideas and notes. And so every month looks the same, just different colors. It also comes with...
Hi, Editing Chris here. I just want to take a pause and note that I have not ever noticed that this had a Christmas budget section until I watched this video back to edit it. That's nuts. Like, wow. Amazing. I wouldn't use it. I don't do gifts really for anybody ever anymore. But for the people that need that, amazing. Sunee,
set a set of
amazing.
stickers and extra notes in the back, a little ruler, and a pocket, and this little elastic to keep it So I don't actually go anywhere with this one. I didn't take this anywhere with me. Maybe to work if I knew I was having a slow day and I had time to do this for myself, then I would do that. But generally, this stayed at my desk at home, and at least once a week, I would sit down and review it. Um, so you'll see it kind of it's really messy in the beginning, and it kind of gets neater as I get used to it. So let's compare. This is what March looked like. This is my income. My job is there, so as you can see, it's like really big, messy, things scratched out, things like that. And then in November, it's quite neat. It's pretty neat. And then December is even neater because I haven't touched it. It's actually December 6th or 7th, and I have to actually do this. I haven't done it for the week. But as you can see, it is really messy in the beginning, so you know that I actually use this. This was my first time using it. I was kind of like throwing stuff at it and things like that. And at the time, I was breaking down my weekly groceries. I think I might do that again in um, 2026 because I really like that. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I think maybe because I love the grocery store and I go multiple times in 1 week. And I was like, is this week one or is this week two when I was reviewing? Um, I think I'll be better at that. Some things I want to say, like some key moments, is that um, I was very well aware of like how much money I'm using on subscriptions. Every time I added it, I was like, ooh, do I need that? And then I would cross it out and things like that. I just having it listed and like seeing it go from this to like a full box, I was like, ooh, something has to change there. So you'll see that in like the later versions. If you're looking at the numbers, I do make quite a bit of money and I do pay a lot in my housing and utilities. I live in a high cost of living area, so I do make quite a bit of money, but my living expenses are high. And then as you can see, my pet expenses are incredibly high because she's 17 years old now. But this time she was 16, but now she's 17 and she's old and she's sleeping right now. And she knows what I'm talking about her, so I'm surprised she hasn't gotten up and walked over here. You hear her little tippy tappies. So this is what March looked like. And as you can see, it's really messy. Crossing outs and things like that. I think this month I had one on the other side. So I made this a goal, like don't touch this page. If I'm on this page, I'm spending too much money. I'm swiping my card far too often. And then as you can see, I really like here plans for April, no Dollar Tree trips. I will tell you, this was surprisingly something that I noticed in myself when I started doing this, especially in that last month. Like I said, I was restarting my life, so I was stopping in a lot of stores and doing things like that. But I was like, damn, I really just go to Dollar Tree for one thing and walk out with like 12 different things. I need to stop that. I need to stop even walking to that door. And that's honestly what I've done. I would say I've done great at that this year. I have, because I've been tracking how often I was going, I'm like, okay, I need to stop that. And then no more spend days. You'll see eight more no spend days. No more spend days. Oh my God. But yeah. I started writing into it no spend days and really celebrating that. So in other months, no spend, no spend, no spend. And I would give myself like time, goals, avoid needless store shops, no more just because I'm already out trips, and 5 no spend days. And I think I did that. Yes, I did. I did 6 this month. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. This was like a doctor's appointment, things like that. So as you can see, it got a little neater as time gone by. I had a little bonus that month, so that was really nice. And then you'll see little check marks. So towards the end of the month, I start tallying things out, and then when I added them up, I check them off. Yeah, see, I was so excited that I had so many no spend days because I'd never seen it like this. I've never celebrated no spend days before this year, and then this year I like made it a point, and I was really proud of myself. And um, someone said like, "Oh, you just like wait until the end of the week to spend money." Honestly, that's great. Like maybe that is the case, but then that means I'm not impulsively shopping on Tuesday. I'm like putting it in my cart and waiting and be like, okay, I don't so far I have not spent any money. I have not had a reason to spend money, so I'm just gonna hold off until like Friday when I know I'm gonna go grocery shopping so I could keep these as a no spend days. But then by Friday I'm like, this is in my cart, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like it's a mental thing, but I was so proud of this month. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, that's more than a week. So I really, really love this. Like I said, it feels tangible, it feels real, it feels intentional when I'm budgeting. Um, and if you're a mom, maybe you can change some of these. Maybe you don't need a healthcare one. You can put whatever healthcare in personal and then give this to your kids or, something like that. And I think I think there's ways to make it a bit more easier for you guys. Like if you do shopping and food together, you could do that and then you open up a whole thing. Whatever it is. Live your best life. I think it gives you the liberty to do that, but having these sections was so great for me, honestly. It just made everything more organized. So I honestly will tell you the reason I hit so many financial goals this past year was because of this notebook. It gave me a way to be intentional about my budget planning and about the money movements of my cash flow and where everything was going, how I was using it. And yes, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I did have some really bad months. Like last month, I spent so much money and I was really impulsive and I did go away. So when I'm on vacation, there are no rules. This doesn't come with me. Who cares? Money isn't real. You know, I have those days, but I can sit down and reflect. And that's what I needed this binder to be. And that's what it is. And I honest to God, wow, like I feel like that sounds really dramatic, but I've always been really good with my money, I think, since I've been in college. So I do have that basic knowledge of personal finance, but this has caused me to apply that knowledge and be aware. And I really owe it all to this notebook, which is why I'm moving into the same notebook, just a smaller size, in 2026. So, Sunee, or Sunny, if you're watching this, love you. You guys saved my life. Highly recommend. There are a bunch of other versions, not of this brand, but a bunch of other budget planners in on Amazon that look like they could work. The only thing that I wish this came in was like a hard copy, like bounded notebook, like this, because I'm not a huge fan of rings, and it's not like this is conducive of like adding pages in. If it came bound like this, I think I would pay whatever money because I love it so much. Maybe not any money, but it is very affordable, and I really 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, hope you guys found this helpful. In July, I will take you guys on a journey and go through how I'm transitioning from 2025 to 2026 at the end of December or early next month, so you guys can see how I um, organize my budget. Okay, well, see you guys then. Have a wonderful day. Bye.